we are playing Enchantress with Scion of Draco, Leyline package, but also the big thing too is also Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. So, kind of simply put, Leyline Scion, very powerful combination. Looking for other spots to play this in decks. The real history of this list is at the Hunter Burton. I saw there's this guy playing this mono green devotion deck with Sanctum Weaver that looked so sick. He was playing Oath of Nissa, he was playing Utopia Sprawl, was playing Courser of Krufix, was also playing the original 4 mana Nylea, was also playing 3 mana 4/5 Pelucranos, was also playing I can't remember the name of the card. Elder Gargaroth was playing the green MDFC where you cast or get a creature from the top 7. It was kind of funny that card got revealed to a Courser of Krufix at one point, but they were doing pretty well at some point. I think they kind of tampered off, but it just Sanctum Weaver looks so sick. I just have never really I haven't played much with the card. Obviously, it's mostly just goes in the Enchantress deck. But I started to look at like a devotion-y Sanctum Weaver deck. I started to look at a devotion-y Sanctum Weaver deck, and then it's like, well, if we're gonna play Devotion Sanctum Weaver deck, Leyline the Guildpact almost feels like a no-brainer, where Scion can give your Sanctum Weaver hexproof, and this is also an incredible Devotion enabler. It's also an enchantment, and it's just like a lot more castable in this deck than it's going to be in a lot of other shells. Just kind of a perfect shell here. And then kind of like on a more big scale, like one big thing the Enchantress deck was missing was another like mana engine besides Sanctum Weaver. Sanctum Weaver is like so good in this deck. Taps for so much mana. The problem is, of course, that with it's a fragile 2 mana O2. Obviously, you can give it hexproof or via in this deck Scion, and the other deck the Sterling Grove, but having access to Nykthos as this really powerful mana engine, kind of like not quite. It's not Serra Sanctum. It's not as good as Serra Sanctum, but something to just spew out all your enchantments. I think is a really big deal. And just having like these kind of two different mana engines to just spew all your enchantments onto the table, and then eventually win the game with Destiny Spinner. How do you win with Emrakul sideboard? Yeah, so I think Emrakul in the main deck of Enchantress is silly and bad for the most part. It's like you just kill them with Destiny Spinner. This makes a bunch of 10/10s. It's like you don't need Emrakul in the main deck Enchantress gamers. You just kill them with a bunch of 10/10s. You also really don't need to sit behind like you don't have to go Sterling Grove go in this deck. You don't have to get behind the enchantment that you have Shroud, and you don't get to draw a card, and you have to discard a card in your upkeep and prevent all damage. You don't have to play that card. You just get to be Leyline Scion, very fast, make lots of mana, kill your opponent with Destiny Spinner. Can this support Lair of the Hydra? You could play a copy of Lair. Lair is kind of mediocre. Let's start playing. Let's keep this. Gonna lead on. Kind of want to go Stomping Ground, so that my Leyline Binding costs 2. We have Stomping Ground for like partially discounting Domain, which is more so discounting Binding than Scion. Discounting Scion to 4 is kind of rough. But also because we're playing 4 Alpine Moons in the sideboard. There's a lot of Tron at the Hunter Burton. I think there's going to be a lot of Tron on Magic Online too. Zach with the 26th. Thank you. Welcome back. So they got 2 Mishra's Baubles. One of them's looking at me. The other one's looking at them. Yeah, I know. Jegantha in the Devotion deck's very funny, huh? Well, that's a easy slam dunk here, I think. No Spell Pierce, no Spell Pierce, but oh no, Spell Pierce. Let's go. Did I see Jerry's Reanimator deck? I did see Jerry's Reanimator deck. I thought it was really cool looking. I would certainly be interested to see it in action. Congratulations to him for winning with a cool list. I don't know. Tarmogoyf is back for some reason. I really don't get it, but people sure are casting that card at the moment. I guess I'm gonna lead on Sith this year. Have a pretty big upside if I draw a land, which I did not draw the land. That's okay. Do you have this for Jeskai Copeblade? I mostly think you should play blue-white instead of Jeskai, and then there is an updated build of that in the Mox field. 5/6 Tarmogoyf. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have made so much fun, huh? Didn't make that much fun of it. Draw a couple cards. Let's get full domain online. Next turn I can go Leyline plus Scion. I think I'm just going to cast this spinner. Pass the turn. Did your judge opponent miss Skull Triggers game 3? Yeah. He did. He realized it like a little bit after. It's probably dead if you remembered it on that match. Where turn the side is loose with her so combo. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine stance to have. I'm on board. Makeshift Reaper for another 45-month resub. Getting prayer for SCG Atlanta. Better not maybe regret my choice. So, what's your choice? Okay, let's go. My opponent is repping a counterspell here. Let's go Destiny Spinner first. All right. So we'll play Sythis. Draw another card. Another Abundant Growth. Utopia Sprawl. There's a Sanctum Weaver. 6/7 Tarmogoyf. Let's cast the Sanctum Weaver and plan the jump block with Sythis, I think. Another iteration. I'm going to try my best to not play a land next turn in hopes that I can draw into a Nykthos, by the way. Opponent reveals Preordained to their expressive iteration. And finds a Lightning Bolt. I guess I'm probably just not blocking if I don't have to. I lose to third Lightning Bolt plus Red Source. What do they do with their Preordained? They did keep a card on top. There's a Red Source. The life gain on this Sythis is so nice. It does feel like I probably can't really lose if I jump block here, so let's jump block then. I can't lose if I don't. Yeah, I'm also kind of scared of Bowmaster here. I'm thinking as far as Bowmaster goes, the Leyline Scion plan will potentially help a lot. We have removal spells for it, of course. Hopefully can tank some. But we'll see. That may it may just end up being big problemo. You don't like solitary confinement? Nope. Card sucks. Just really don't need it, I think. At the very least, not with the whole Leyline Scion thing. Cast a Leyline? Is that okay? It's probably okay. Spell Pierce me? It'd be kind of funny. Familiar with the new Johnny Spoil of Image 3? Yeah, I think that card rules. So there's a Nykthos, so wait till next turn to play it. Green. Scored 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty actiony hand. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 devotion at the moment. Will be a little bit higher too. Okay, nice Sanctum Weaver. Deck for a Resident Madman. Let me like combo off here, and then we'll get you going. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna play that Enchantress's Presence. I mostly just want to find another Leyline, Leyline of the Guildpact. We only seen one in the top 40, 41 cards. That should be okay. Don't think I want to cast Oath of Nissa and like put some on the bottom. Maybe counterspell this. Correct W. I could just cast 4 Scions also. Let's cast another Sanctum Weaver first. Look at my life total. That was so low. Okay, so only one Leyline of the Guildpact, and I also haven't found another Destiny spinner. Let's cast another Sanctum Weaver. Although now I can't play Leyline, then activate Nykthos. That's probably okay. Okay, there's a Leyline of the Guildpact. Not that I really need it, I guess. I have 11 devotion. I guess I'll just cast the Scions this turn. What are they gonna do? Okay, let's just pass. Ooh, attack for 1. This might be the final time Spike got too much in the sauce. Dude, I think this deck is sick. It's early for sure, but I haven't felt like maybe I've broken it this much in a long time. Also, I've not forgotten this deck tech. Just let me get to a better point. The petty theft, the binding to get back a Goyf. Okay. Brazen Borrower will save you. I don't know. I will say this. I keep getting these like Urza deck techs, and the problem with Urza as an archetype is your deck is slow, is easy to disrupt, and is light on disruption. You're attempting to solve this problem by playing extra disruption with a lot of removal spells. I would play the third pending over the first March. I don't think March is very good. If you want another removal spell in that slot. You're also playing a lot of Tidebinders. Let me sideboard real quick. So they're a Tarmogoyf deck. You play at least the first Rest in Peace. Gonna bring in the Aunton Ices. Usually cutting Oath of Nissa, we're bringing in like a bunch of removal spells. Urza's my hero card. Yeah, I think I would probably try to play 4 Urzas. I kind of like that you're not playing the Thopter Sword combo. I would probably not play Lorien Revealed. It's just like Lorien Revealed is so tough to play when you have all of these like surveil lands too. It's just like too many tap lands. This should probably be a blue-green tap land. I guess you also have Breeding Pool. I guess you want to have Prismatic Ending for 4. That's probably fine. This is the kind of hands that this is kind of why Leyline sucks to some extent. Is like I have 2 Leylines. My top decks are so nice. I'm a Nykthos Scion deck. Just have no action. I'm gonna mulligan this, but okay. And then maybe I'm just bad and you should just be keeping good hands, mulliganing bad hands. Non-cohesive. Happy 2 years. Welcome back. Happy double anniversary. Yep, I go minus it's a fairy plus an Urza. Minus a March plus a pending. I would also try to cut these preordains. They're kind of like I feel like they're taking up a lot of space. Because I'd like some more artifacts in our Urza deck, if possible. Yeah, wait, Urza isn't even good in this deck. You're just way too low on artifacts. I'm so sorry. I also wish Urza was better. I'm not sure what 4 artifacts. Probably F4 Esper Sentinels, although it's awkward with your. It's a little awkward with your. Um. Ephemerate plan to have Esper Sentinel in your deck. Sentinel's pretty good though. You're gonna pick your poison, but I think we just want to get this down before they can have counter magic up. Mountain Splash 18 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. Okay, good pick. So obviously an Enchantress effect would be pretty nice. Could Surveil in my upkeep here, but then I couldn't cast Enchantress's presence. Nice. We're doing well today. I'm doing well. Very excited for today. Had a fun, relaxing weekend with Dingo and the gang. Mountain Splash the 18 and meet with the meet with the 15. Thank you too. So they exiled on Holy Heat, which is unlikely to get any value here, and they also don't find their third land. Let's get our Lush Portico, get a Surveil on. I'll keep a Sanctum Weaver. Don't necessarily have a lot to do with the mana, but a hexproof Sanctum Weaver is basically always welcome in my book. And then we at least have this Destiny Spinner as a mana sink. Is 6-2 min for day 2 normal on 100 burn. Surprised 5-3 didn't make it. I feel like they've done 5-3 in the past. Yeah, I lost my win into day 2. I played the blue red Surveil deck. I posted the matchups online. I beat Dredge, then I beat Tron, then I lost to Titan, then I beat Tron again, then I beat Titan, then I lost to Domain Zoo in a really tough match. So it was a good match. Then I beat Crabvine, and I lost to Bring to Light Scapeshift for my win into day 2. And then I played a modern RCQ, which is it was kind of cool that they could run modern RCQs. But I played a modern RCQ. I beat Disgruntled Elk, the Hammer Master in round 1, and I lost a really sick match to a chatter. I think it's Texas Toph. I don't know if they're in the chat today, but they played really well. They're playing Tron, and they had like this really sick line in game 3 where they had natural Tron on turn 3, ended up going cast Map to bait my counter spell, and then just played the third Tron piece and cast Karn to resolve it. It was a great play. I ended up feeling like the map was bait, but I was just hoping it was bait for like a Sylvan Scrying or an Ancient Stirrings, because there's also a Star in play. Or Sphere, whatever. Okay, keeping this. We're gonna play your Izzet Surveil deck. Is 4 Thundering Falls required? Yeah, I mean you could play 3 if you only have 3. I would not play the deck if I only had 2. But I would recommend 4. Is our land creature not buffed by Draco? It should have been. Should have been. Maybe there's like a weird layers thing. There's maybe a layers thing where like with the land, I'm not sure. What was I playing? I was playing the blue-red Surveil combo deck. Look with the 15 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Your commentary is great. Kind of do every day for your job. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at the commentary stuff. I don't love commentating tournaments. I like to do like 1 round. Oh, right on time. I like to do like 1 round like I did this weekend. If I do too much, I get kind of bored. I was also watching Dingo and Krista commentate on. They were commentating on a mono white martyr versus blue white control match, and I'm like, I'm so glad this is not the round I'm commentating on. Okay, we have our Emrakul on the sideboard here today. Not feeling super good about our chances against Mill Game 1 necessarily. Oh, it's non-land, right. Gonna hope that the Sanctum Weaver lives, of course. Yeah, it was a sick match. It's just so long, so much back and forth. We have breath running less than 2 oaths for 2 storm goes. You know, I thought about exactly that change, GM. I'm not like very in love with Sterling Grove in this deck. Like we don't have Blood Moon to tutor up because we're on the domain stuff. We don't have the Solitary Confinement lock to tutor up as well. Obviously, you could play those cards. So I think that part of Enchantress is kind of the worst part of the deck at the moment, which is why I don't want to be on it. But yeah, you certainly could. You certainly could. I agree that our Oath of Nissa hit count is kind of low, but having this density of 1-mana enchantments and like an Oath also digging for Scion, digging for Sanctum Weaver, digging for Nykthos just feels so important to me that I think I just want to be on 4 Oath at the moment. You can play 3 Oath 1 Sterling Grove. That could be maybe a good compromise. So I got 41 cards in my library still. Mill's the new burn. Yeah, I guess so. Looks like we're getting surgical here too. Finally, their draw step surgicling. They're surgicling my Sanctum Weaver, thankfully. Destiny Spinner without it be much tougher to win this game. Isn't Choke better into the Leyline Scion meta? It ain't worse. It ain't worse. I wish Abundant Growth gave you domain, although that's kind of a greedy thing to ask, I suppose. Jace, Perfected Mind. Blessing. Okay, thankfully I have a Leyline Binding for this, I guess. See what we draw. Another Leyline Binding. So I suppose let's make these 1 mana. Hopefully don't have an Archive Trap. There's a Destiny Spinner. Too bad Nylea is 2 mana. Yeah, I started to work on this because I saw this player at the Hunter Burden playing this sick mono green devotion deck. It was like just kind of more normal devotion with Sanctum Weaver and an Oath of Nissa and Utopia Sprawl and Course of Krufix and original format for Nylea. At one point they were like 3-1. It was sick. It was really sick. His opponent's at 12 here, 3 cards in hand. Another permission spell. Or removal spell, rather. And a 3rd crab. Kind of scary. So 28 cards in my library. We can somehow steal game 1. That'll obviously be pretty big for morale. They're targeting the Scions. Again, I don't think they've realized that this Destiny Spinner is what they should be surgicling. I'm okay with this. Okay, I'm going to cast Sythis. Play Nykthos. Floating, or 1 mana left after this. Okay, well, binding one of the crabs, and then hopefully we find a Destiny Spinner to chomp him up quick. There's a Destiny Spinner, so thankfully it's not going to get like milled away. Can I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 enchantments in play. They draw a 2nd crab. I'm gonna pick this up, mill me for 6. Down to 13 cards in my library. Yo, GLHF to YouTube, awesome. I think we can get at least 1 chump here. Let's see what we draw. I think Nykthos could be kind of interesting. I have none left in the deck, though. So let's just... I think I'm only casting the Destiny Spinner this game. I don't think I'm going to cast another spell. Although if I do cast another spell, I guess it'll be the 2nd Destiny Spinner. So I'm going to play this forest and tap it. This does have... Oh, it does give haste. I couldn't remember if it gave haste or not. So we're going to make 9 devotion, animate 2 lands. Both 9/9s trample. Is that lethal? That should be lethal, actually. Cool. Winning against Mill game 1 when you have an Emrakul on the sideboard is like always such a nice feeling. Focus video of the 60 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Dingo. Commenting on my title game. A little bit of a preemptive good deck. Kelsey for the 5 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Glad the mic sounded good. Thank you all for the help. Okay, not gonna bring in Rest in Peace because it's gonna conflict with my Emrakul too much. Let me just go Emrakul 61. Could play Onth Nice also. I think you just don't care about the crabs as much when you have Emrakul. I'm gonna play like 1 Onth Nice, like 62. Multiple Surgicals main deck as well. I feel like it's kind of okay. There's like so many like I guess like the Yogg Titan metagame, Tron metagame. Seems okay. I want to know it's got to be a good deck. Okay, I revealed Jegantha, my companion for life. I have a Leyline and a Nykthos. Why not Wheel of a Sun and Moon or Rest in Peace? Double Devotion. Okay, Wheel of Sun and Moon is obviously better in this matchup. Rest in Peace is better in like every other graveyard matchup by like a pretty significant amount. Um, Double Devotion is something though for sure. Welcome to Modern, where you can just cast Leyline off of a basic forest on turn 1. I like the black Leyline better Enchantress over Rip. I feel like in a deck that can trip so much, you definitely want Rest. And also, like, it is a white deck. I think you definitely want Rest in Peace. You can't trip so fast. Although it is more. Leyline is castable in this deck, I guess, but you just can't trip so fast. Like, usually these cantrip decks are kind of worse at having Leylines. It's kind of why I don't love to have Leyline in Living End. Yeah, you also lose Jegantha. Nykthos has got a lot of abilities, huh? Love my new mic. Yeah, I mean, I've had this mic for a while. I've just had a lot of problems with it, and so Dingo and PT Bench helped me mess with some settings. I still don't know if we're gonna have that issue where like just an hour into the stream or whatever, it ends up getting the quality ends up getting worse, but we'll see. If my opponent like pushes the Sythis, I'll probably just cycle a Leyline Binding here. Maybe I'll cycle one anyways. Cut down. I was actually just thinking about drawing this. Discarding into hand size shouldn't be too difficult at some point this game. We'll see. Is the quality of the mic or the voice wicked source? There's like a weird buzzing sound. PT Bench was also saying like we have some wiring issues on this side of the house. He was saying that could cause the issues. We'll figure it out. So mills me for 14. We have 25 cards left in our library. We will have to get rid of this Emrakul before we're feeling too safe here. Maybe. Nykthos is pretty sick. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to cast Destiny Spinner. Or Sanctum Weaver. Maybe we'll die. Seems very difficult to get milled for 21, though, and it actually seems like I could just cast this next turn, right? This taps for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my Nykthos is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 15, brother. Alright, have a safe flight, Dingo. Loved having y'all. Shaka, 32 months. Yeah, nearly at 3 years. Let's freaking go, dude. Thank you to everyone for joining me on the stream today. Is Anthonice better than Change the Rocks in this deck? I feel like you have Mountain as often as you have Snowlands. You can use it with Leyland to Guildpact. I think I'd rather put my enchantment on a basic than on a Ketria Triome or Stomping Ground, so that I can play around Field of Ruin a bit better. So I think Anthonice is better, but it's at the very least very close, and not like a super meaningful difference either way. So they cycle Fractured Sanity. I'm down to 24 cards. They play a Polluted Delta. They pass. Emrakul is a really sick sideboard card in this deck because you just get to put this on the stack. Yeah, just get to put it on the stack. Could main deck it, but I think that you just kind of it's nice to have like just a lower curve game 1 against most decks. Put us on a keep of 7. Let's keep 7 also. Little greedy. Tapped Meticulous Archive. No Kihira. Oh. Oh no. Hey, bad. I think for the 4 years, brother. Let's go. Yeah, Sprawl is really messed up. Just Entomb Atraxa also. Come on. Oh, and then Prismatic ending my Sprawl. So then draw the land for the Sanctum Weaver. Oh, ah. Okay, backup Sanctum Weaver is something at least. Archaeologist. 2 Ephemerates. They don't have Gorya's Vengeance. Ephemerate gets to dig pretty deep for one. Still no second land. Okay, second land. Probably a little slow at this point, though. To put it mildly. It's kind of okay to like stumble harder game one like this too, where we get a, I mean maybe it's just rusted pieces, but I feel like this matchup gets a lot better post forward. I also think sometimes if you just have like Enchantress's presence in play, you could just kind of ignore what they're doing to some extent. Not like super early in the game, but a little bit later in the game. I think you can just kind of go over the top of what Goryo's is doing. Probably not so much that you need to bring in this Emrakul. Yeah, probably don't need to bring in the Emrakul. They took Oath of Nissa. Interesting. They don't seem to have Goryo's. I draw Nykthos. Which doesn't let me do anything super big this turn, but I'll cast Sanctum Weaver. Card taps for a bunch of mana. Alright, so do we dodge Goryo's here? So far we do. They just they brick. Although they have a third ephemerate. Although this is 3 ephemerates down, so there's a Goryo's, but there's potentially just not that many ephemerates left in the deck. Like maybe they have touched the Spirit Realm. Oh, but they could just do this. They could upkeep the Goryo's, sure. Okay, so likely gonna lose this game. Stumbled a bit too hard potentially. They get to ephemerate twice. They get Force of Negation, Thoughtseize, Grief, and Delta. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to game 2. So starting off down a game. Play draw would have been pretty different this game too, I think. Gonna bring in the Rips. Usually like to cut the Oath of Nissas when I'm bringing in these like misses for it because we're already kind of low on hits anyways. Leyline Scion may not seem at first glance too important in this matchup, but if you just have 2 Scions in play in a Leyline, it's actually really tough for them to beat because you just have this like 8/8 first strike vigilance flying wall. Dingo taught me this weekend. I'm gonna click submit. So I'm playing 4 Rest in Peace because of how popular Goryo's is. Decided to play 4 Alpine Moon because like there was so much Tron at the Hunter Burden this weekend. I feel like Tron is gonna become a lot more popular, and that seemed like the matchup that was like, it's either like you just ignore it or you like sideboard like 4 cards for it. Is Sunken Hollow too narrow that it only helps Nykthos and doesn't enchant Utopia? Is Sunken Hollow, is this the blue-black? This is a blue-black Rand, right? Yeah, this is not the card you're thinking of, brother. I hope it's not the card you're thinking of. Isn't Tron always more popular in paper? Yeah, that might be the case, but I also feel like it just kind of is. It makes sense to play Tron at the moment. Yeah, maybe it's a paper thing. Bad Chef Fluence, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. Sunken Citadel. Yeah, I think it's a little narrow in this deck, but you could play like 1. Yeah, I think you could play. I think 1 Grove over the 4th Oath of Nissa is probably okay. I don't love Grove though. Card is not amazing. Okay, tap for white. Prismatic Ending again. So let's get the Sanctum Weaver down, I guess. Just a little. Yeah, can't do combinations of colors here. Just rip and then play our Portico. Let's see this resolves. Graveyard this. Maybe a Jegantha Cycle Triumph kind of game. Sure thing, Tracker. Seed of Hope instead of Oath. This is an enchantment. It's an enchantment. I don't mind the suggestion, but it's an enchantment. We got 8 enchantresses in the deck. We got Sanctum Weaver in the deck. Let's play Oath of Nissa. Don't you play too many tap lands? I don't think so. I think I played the right number of tap lands. How would you build the mana base? Okay, what you doing with the Fun Raveler? Bounce the Weaver? Bounce the Weaver. Let's hold the Ketria Triome, I think. You made the first iteration of this updated Traxa deck. I mean, I think I was the one that made like the I was the first one for sure to ever do Goryo's Ephemerate. Like this is something like we figured out like on stream live, and it was really cool to do the figure out. Oh, you can Goryo's Gristlebrand draw into Ephemerate it in the scam shell. And then I think I also built the Archaeologist version that's like now popular like 8 months ago, but I don't know. I build a lot of decks. So we can I can Weaver. I think I just Weaver over or Destiny Spinner over play the Sanctum Weaver. Attack the Teferi. If there existed a 0 mana do nothing enchantment, would I play it in this deck? No, probably. If it made devotion, yes. If it was like somehow also had a green pip. So these are at least mana neutral. The problem is I can't actually attack with any of my Destiny Spinner lands if I cast the second Sanctum Weaver, so I think I just do this. Oh, sorry, I can cast this first. So this other one should have been 8/8. Oh, so I missed lethal, but they just go to 1 and concede. I have Rest in Peace in play. Okay, so 2 kind of lopsided games this match so far. Let's go to game 3. Mana Bloom sucks. Like the card quality is so low on Mana Bloom. I'm just not gonna put it in the deck probably, but you just kind of also don't need it. Like when you have your Enchantresses in play, like your whole deck are enchantments, you just churn through your deck without something like Mana Bloom. Reveal Jegantha. No Rest in Peace, no Leyline, no Sanctum Weaver. Okay, good mulligan. Put back the spinner. Why the Draco strat? I kind of explained it, but it protects your stuff. Like there's a nice overlap with like Leyline being a good devotion enabler. Nykthos is really nice in this deck. There's a lot going on. I went over at the beginning. Leyline is like really castable in this deck too. It's an enchantment that also just like density of enchantments is nice. Scion giving hexproof to your Sanctum Weaver is really nice. It's like a really strong plan B. This combo is also like kind of simply this combo is very strong and powerful and something you're incentivized to do in modern. Okay, Dingo taught me if you got get 2 ley lines in against 2 Scions in against Gorios, they have a really hard time. But this good plan, lots of synergy in deck. But they just drew 2 with Indulgence. That's fast. That's maybe like I don't think I've ever seen a turn 3 draw 2 Indulgence before. The Sisay Leyline deck for 5/0 dump. I didn't. I don't usually look at the 5/0 dumps, but it sounds sick. What are you doing with Alpine Moon? Urza's Tower, Urza's Saga, Valakut the Molten Pinnacle, usually. Black green. Goryo's Gristlebrand. So I guess I binding after block so that if they ephemerate, the trample still goes through. Maybe get Force of Negation out of the game. It was bad attack. What is this trample strat? This has trample. I want them to block first. My options are the binding before or after blocks. I want to block first, so if they ephemerate, I still get the damage with the Scion. If I do this first, then they can ephemerate, then they can just block and eat a Scion and take less damage. Opponent is so deep in the fucking tank. Why not let first strike resolve? And because I want to deal trample damage, brother. I want to deal trample damage. What does resolving first strike damage do ever? Okay, this has resolved. I target the Griselbrand. Griselbrand is down. My opponent is at 1. They really didn't try to draw Force Negation there. It's kind of crazy, but I'll take it. Fun Raveler to bounce my Leyline. Is this going to be fast enough, though? Oh, bounce that Leyline. Did you top deck? Force Negation? What's the game plan? Dead to first strike? Oh, right. So Solitude their Griselbrand. They're still at 8. I attack you for 8. Okay, good deck. Let's get a trophy prediction going. And I always have felt like Reanimator variants are the hardest to evaluate in the format. It's like you can just I 5-0'd with some awful. I'm not saying that Jerry's is awful, but I know I've trophied with some really bad builds that I just want to like see it in action to see how it performs, because I've played a lot of bad builds that have that I've thought were better because I just like 5-0'd my first league with it, you know. I obviously Leyland Sion's very powerful, very like reasonable thing to include. Looks pretty sick. Is it optimal for? Is it an optimal strategy for Gorez? I just don't know yet. But it seems like pretty reasonable to include. Jerry also lost Battle Linux being played with. It's also only 12 people. Yeah, like Gorez is just so swingy. It's like if you are just curving out, drawing well, your opponents are not fighting their hate against you. Like you just can't fucking lose. and it almost doesn't matter what your build is, obviously, and which makes like determining what the optimal build of Goryo's, it makes determining it so difficult. I would have loved for that to be in the opening hand, obviously. Tapped Sacred Foundry. Leyline Binding. This creativity tier 1 deck, or just a flash and pan. It's a playable modern deck. Modern tiers are weird at the moment and changing pretty rapidly. It's kind of hard to even do like a super cohesive metagame breakdown. I think at least I'm having a hard time figuring out what's tier 1, what's tier 2. But that deck's okay. You know, it's got 2 copies in the top 8 of Hunterburton. It's been pretty playable for a while. It had a good win rate at the RCs this year, and like doesn't seem to be super represented on the Magic Online. Who won Hunter? I believe Creativity won. I think John Creativity beat Merfolk in the finals of the Hunterburton. Oh, also Merfolk is really good right now. I know that's kind of a funny thing to say, but I think it's true. I guess I'm actually just doing like this. So I could just set this into some. I can set this and then cast Oath of Nissa, and then maybe also cast another green enchantment if I draw one. Which I did draw one. So Nykthos is tapping for 5 next turn. Maybe play 2 Nykthoses next turn also. I'm at 13, which means that if my opponent has Tribal Flames and I don't chump block, I lose the game. And I think since I can cast Scion plus Draco next turn, I should probably just jump block and play around it. Discovered Urborg Savages can take keyword abilities from other cards in graveyard, not just creatures. The Indestructible from Ring, Hexproof for Lowest Field. That is very cool. I didn't realize that either. Good find, for sure. That land Tribal Flames Bolt, I guess. Okay, Flames me down to 6. Nykthos is so clutch in this deck. Okay, so let's go cast this. Draw a card, draw 2 cards. Nice. Cast Leyline of the Guildpact. Draw a card. Cast Utopia Sprawl. Abundant Growth. Tap. Legend Rule Nykthos. Make some mana. 13 mana. Don't get to play Sythis this turn. Was there a way to play Sythis this turn? There probably was. I'm gonna guess just be dead to another burn spell though. Unfortunately. So dead to burn spell, can't lose against anything else. I guess I could have also just cast this Leyline now. Probably was correct too. Mostly just want to get this game over with, you know. Oath lets you cast legends. It's just planeswalkers. Yeah, only planeswalkers spells. Dead. Not a planeswalker, unfortunately. Okay, let's bring in these on thin ice and the Seal of Primordiums. 2 more cuts. Probably gonna go down to Sanctum Weaver. Or sorry, not that. Think we can win the game. We can play a second Leyline to play around. Probably could have avoided playing the last Abundant Growth for that exact reason. I think we could have played that game where we had a white floating and could have gained life. Maybe a little bit inexperienced. I think the Vampire deck, the Rules of Pioneers, Viable, Modern, Planeswalker, Sorin's really good enough. I mean, I've tried to I look at playable lists. I know Young Dingo's played a lot of it. It doesn't seem very good. Yeah, it's just different power level of the format. If it was it's just kind of tough to make it consistent, and it's kind of hard to make Sorin a reasonable card when you don't have Vein Ripper. Kind of hard to make Vein Ripper a reasonable card when you don't have Sorin. Bitch either to grief, I guess. I've been looking at it some. Okay, let's keep this. Opponent's also keeping 7. Do they have Leyline again? They do have Leyline again. Maybe a hard time blowing this up with Seal of Primordium, huh? Love for my Sanctum Weaver to live. Still moving. Thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate you. Yeah, I know. Leyline 4 pips for Devotion. Still play Jegantha. So funny. Or all the good vampires mono black. I have a deck list somewhere that's all the playable modern vampires. Not all of them, I guess, but kind of I guess I haven't put Vein Ripper in here yet, but kind of loosely. There's 71 cards here, loosely cards I'd be considering for the archetype. They pick your poison. Abundant Growth is pretty. That is kind of one thing to like about Enchantress as an archetype is pick your poison is not that good against it, and a lot of people are kind of moving to this as their hate of choice. Loco Sap with the 4 months. Let's go. Thank you so much. Welcome back. Okay, I'd love to see this. I think I'm just gonna go Enchantress's presence into On the Nice probably. Just get another forest too. Yeah, the sign is kind of I need to either put it back or I need to I need to do something with it. It's kind of weird where it is at the moment, to be honest. Okay, that's not going to do a lot. I guess I'm going to wait till to tap the Weaver because I can get it tapping for one more. Although maybe it's better to. I probably don't need to play this other Enchantress presence first. Famous last words, maybe. I think I'll just do is just go Utopia Sprawl on green, Sanctum Weaver. I guess I should have done it on white. It's okay. Tap this for green. Play another presence. Play an abundant growth. Play 2 abundant growths. Literally ancestral recalls that make devotion. Your turn. Nice sideboard card and a sideboard card. Yeah, I did miss it. Loco. Or sorry. Pogo and thank you Loco for the 4 months. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Okay, you will be dying now, probably. I guess more like in in a couple minutes after I get up to 10 enchantments and fire up Dusty Spinner twice. Yeah, it's just like up the beanstalk. I'm gonna play this before I activate the Nykthos. I think this should be lethal. Go to game 3. See if we can not get run over on the draw against Zoo here. Get a mulligan kind of aggressively, I guess. Not gonna keep a dopey hand. Errand with a 2 years. Let's go. Welcome back. Glad you still liking the stream. In game 3 on the draw. We haven't had Leyline yet. They've had Leyline both games, so let's put that shit in play. This kind of deck. What would this deck cut for Beanstalk if it were legal? I mean, you'd figure it out. This is kind of exactly what I'm talking about with mulliganing aggressively. Like we have, like this is a great hand. Like in the blind on the play against Domain Zoo on the draw is just like folds so hard to single removal spell. Opponent's tanking on their 7 for a while though, so maybe their hand sucks. I'm gonna mulligan. Yeah, this hand's way better. Can't on the nice turn 1 though. It's probably okay, I guess. Yeah, I agree. The deck would be different if Beanstalk were legal. It's kind of funny. I guess we never played this deck with Beanstalk legal. Well. Uh-oh. Okay, it's a good draw. Let's go Sprawl on whites. Can we go Sythis plus Onthanice next turn? Spike, Nahiri, Emrakul, Brew in. Bring back the old days when Kiki Cord was playable. I don't know, brother. I never make anything playable. I never, you just can't. Things are either playable or they aren't. But you can find the things that are playable, and you can find the things that aren't. Right, goodbye, Ragavan. Hands like this make it tempting to include snow-covered plains. Yeah, we're kind of low on forest because of all the Nykthos for our in our Utopia Sprawl deck. So I figured especially with like you have Leyline in the deck too, so you can still Untonize sometimes. Figured it was okay to not include. But with no turn 2 play, that's nice. Probably just Tribal Flame Sythis here too. Yeah. Cool. Maybe a Jegantha kind of game. They've got 4 cards over there. Let's see what we draw. A Lush Portico. Well, I'm going to cast both of my Sanctum Weavers here, and then maybe the Surveilling gets us out of this next turn. You see the Emrakul tech out, winning the creativity to Underburden. Looks so sick in the semis. I guess I missed that match. I commented the quarters, right? Yeah, I don't think I saw that match. Yeah, the problem with Beanstalk being legal for this deck is you have all these Beanstalk Force of Vigor decks running around everywhere. It's true. Easy step for 4. Scion of Draco. No Leyline in play. 3 cards in hand. They didn't have Stubborn Denial for my Untonize a few turns ago. I guess let's Surveil first. If I see Enchantress's presence on top, I'm probably not casting this Growth. It costs 8 mana here. I could cast it this turn, though. Trade. Seems, I guess, fine to do. Basic plans in the board front tonight. I mean, we're just a Leyline deck. I don't think you need it, but I did think about it a little bit, I guess. Don't think you need it. Casual 8 mana. Scion of Draco. Jegantha in hand. Your turn. Bestral's Destiny Spinner, which is actually what I put back on this mulligan. Right? Or maybe I put back a land. Could we have Nykthos and Jegantha in hand and play? I don't think so. Nykthos is only positive 1 mana, but if we could have, we probably should have. Oh, I played this turn, so no. Ooh. So they're ahead in the Scion plan. I can draw Seal of Primordium or my own Leyline to catch back up. Cycle? I'm reading them at the moment as not having Stubborn Denial. I could be wrong. It's my current read though, so I'm gonna make this attack. Maybe I should just foreseen this no block. So now I could maybe die to double burn spell. Also down to only 2 Destiny Spinners, which are unfortunately the best top deck still. They never block if they don't have stub. I think you're supposed to binding and trade. Yeah. Seems like that was the case. So maybe 2 small mistakes costing us. Didn't foresee like the float white into Sythis to like get above 3 there. Game 1. You'd definitely be getting burned out. They pick your poison. Each opponent sacks an artifact. So I guess we got rewarded for attacking. Plays Wooded Foothills. Hopefully just Jegantha in hand. Just Jegantha in hand. A lot of good top decks here. Including this one. So we seal the Scion. Get in with our Jegantha. Tense game. Does feel like they have something else in their hand. Maybe they have like another pick your poison. Yeah, besides the Jegantha, maybe it's another burn spell. Yeah, Spinner is the best top deck by a lot. Likely would just win the game. Okay. 5/5 Jegantha. Obviously 5/5. How else? What other size would it be, huh? And Tribal Flame's my Jegantha. Okay. I guess thank you, Jegantha, for dealing 5 and tanking. Tribal Flames, for turn we draw a brick, unfortunately. So now I'm going to chump block with a Sanctum Weaver, probably. Yikes. Well, let's jump block with a Weaver still. They have another spell, unfortunately. Doesn't look like we have too many outs. Leyline of the Guildpact, not one of these outs. Okay, so unfortunately, no trophy this league. Could have maybe played different. Game 1 at least. Get a 4-1 prediction. Still feeling pretty good about the deck. Well, we've turned to Scion on the play. I'm going to keep. Sometimes you have to fetch where you're low, have no untap sources. I mean, I would just rather play a fetch instead, but also, like, Yavamaya's got downsides. It's just, like, it's just not this free card to play in your deck. Probably up against creativity here. Should probably get a Temple Garden to play around my opponent to fairy bouncing my Leyline this turn. I have a lot of mana for next turn with an Enchantress in play. It's pretty good. Beseiju? Deduce. Resolves. So, love that they play Fable. They play Teferi. It's also actually just kind of fun, I guess. I don't know. It's worse. Like it's worse for us for sure. So I can just replay the Leyline if I want to. Feels kind of nice to do. Sure. Going shields down for them to creativity on 1, but I think that's okay. I think we just kind of win if that's their turn next turn. Star Wars. Think of the 2 months. Hope you're doing well. Make my Nykthos really tap for a bunch of mana. Targets the treasure token instead of the dwarf, which is probably wrong. Famous last words, I guess. So 7 mana here. Go Presence. Sanctum Weaver. And probably just playing Scion with binding up. Well, it's a fairy would be kind of annoying. Okay, this doesn't do anything. Will I just cycle binding end of turn? I think so. 1 mana, draw 2 cards, gain a life, get an extra mana next turn. Just like, let's cast that card. And also we get I target the Fable here probably. They spell Pierce, we carry 0. Like likely gonna win this turn. Don't think we need to play the second Enchantress's Presence. Maybe we will play it. Okay. Yeah, I can tap this for the spinner, but then I'm gonna leave the other 2 lands that I have, the forest in my hand, untapped. Ooh, well, I guess I don't need that. why don't we just win the game? How's that? Why don't we just win this freaking game, huh? Dude, I love how good these Nykthoses are in the stack. It's pretty exciting because I really wanted to play a devotion. How many enchantments? A devotion. Leyline deck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but I just couldn't figure out a build that made a ton of sense until this one, or that was like good. You know, might as well just keep going a little bit. Now, is this a board in Emrakul match? Maybe it is. Kind of down to try it. That should be bad enough. Now, notably, Scion does say, or Leyline says non-land cards are all colors, so Scion doesn't actually enhance your lands here. Yeah, this gives haste to the land. Okay, opponent's at -19. We're going to game 2. Don't have a lot in the way of sideboard for creativity at the moment. Some number of Seal of Primordium against an opposing Leyline Binding deck likely is correct. Probably 2 copies. And then let's play an Emrakul over a Destiny Spin for vibes, for mood. If lands had colors and hibernation to be one-sided upheaval, yeah, that's true. Maybe it should be, huh? How many non-Scion rounds have I won? Well, every round is a Scion round because, like, either you win with Leyline Scion, or when you're going off with the Enchantress stuff, you also have Leyline Scion because you're drawing your entire deck, right? Like, every game is a Leyline Scion because either you just have that or you draw your entire deck and then you also have it. Although that game is, you know, more so Destiny Spinner than it is Leyline Scion. But Scion protecting all your stuff is really nice. What did we lose to? How's our Titan matchup? We lost to Domain Zoo, and Titan matchup is poor probably, but we have got a lot of sideboard cards. I reveal Jegantha. The fastest. I don't think this deck can really kill before turn 4, but can kill on turn 4 pretty often. Let's mulligan this on the draw against creativity. Drawing Binding, I think I want to be able to go Sanctum Weaver on turn 2 into Sythis plus Abundant Growth. He loses one. We'll see. Oh, they're missing their land drop. Huge. Good draw. Second removal spell. They do have a second removal spell. Thankfully it's Binding, which we have lots of answers to. Yeah, I guess I just Leyline of the Guildpact here. It's kind of weird, but this makes my Leyline Binding cost 1 mana. So you go Enchantress Presence into Leyline Binding, or potentially I go Scion Binding, protect the Sythis. Not super good in Spell Pierce, but also I'd rather kind of have this Spell Pierce than have the Binding Spell Pierce, so it's kind of fine. I can still go Presence plus Binding next turn. Okay, I've sacked my Abundant Growth, dude. This is like so far appears to be a quietly kind of a big reason of why to be excited about this deck is that a huge chunk of enchantment removal at the moment is just pick your poison. So let's go ahead and cast this in response. I'm gonna sack the Sythis. Maybe I should Lush Portico first here. End up getting kind of rewarded, I guess, for not. 4th land, not a Dwarven Mine. Plays a Fable. I have 4 enchantments in play for Destiny Spinner. It's gonna play another Spinner first, I suppose. Okay, so I'm gonna make 6 mana. Play a Misty Rainforest. This is a lot of damage. 18 exactly. They can chump block and go to 2. Okay, but they should just say GG's. But GG's realize they're not dead. Chump block, go to 2. Which is fine. It's allowed. Read of the 32 months. For the 32nd time I say it's not read. but I get that you go there. Okay. Read is sorrow. Maybe next year you'll be not read, huh? Okay, so pretty convincing for 4-1. Not quite a trophy. Maybe could have been a trophy if we played a little bit better against Domain Zoo. Of course, gonna stumble a little bit when playing a deck for the first time. Deck is sick. Yeah, deck is sick. I've just been so I was like just actively more energetic yesterday, I feel, because I knew I was gonna play this today. I was so excited.